Welcome to Sigma, the next generation financial estate platform redefining how real assets are bought and sold. Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving deep into the blueprint for building a modern fintech startup. And we're going to use a real world case study to see how the very foundations of finance are getting a complete overhaul. That quote, it's perfect. The wall between old school finance and the new world of crypto, it's not just cracking anymore, it's really coming down. Okay, so what is this new financial frontier? What does it actually look like? Well, it's all built on one core idea, turning real-world physical stuff into digital assets. And the key to all of this is a concept called tokenization. Now, just think about it. Imagine taking a huge physical asset like an office building and digitally slicing it up into thousands of tiny tradable shares. And all of this happens on a blockchain. All of a sudden, something that was totally rigid and hard to sell becomes liquid, easy to divide, and accessible to pretty much anyone on the planet with an internet connection. It's a game changer. And this isn't just some far-off theory, no way. Companies are being built on this exact idea as we speak. So to really see how it works in the real world, let's follow the journey of one particular startup. It's called Sigma. So here they are, Sigma. Their whole mission is to take that powerful idea of tokenization and aim it squarely at one of the biggest, most old-school asset classes in the world, real estate. What they're offering is actually pretty simple. They're targeting the biggest headaches in real estate. You're a buyer? You get security and speed. You're a seller? You get efficiency and instant cash. The bottom line is, they're trying to strip away all those layers of friction that have made buying and selling property so slow and complicated for, well, centuries. But you know, a brilliant, disruptive idea is only as good as the person who's actually making it happen. And that brings us to the architect behind Sigma. The founder's name is Victor Ange, and his background is fascinating because it's so deeply rooted in the traditional world of high-stakes business. I mean, that law degree, that's not just a piece of paper. It's the key to navigating the incredibly complex regulatory maze that sinks so many tech-first founders. You add 30 years in management consulting on top of that, and you've got someone who genuinely understands how all these intricate systems really work, from the inside out. But, and this is the absolute key, he combines all that traditional expertise with a deep, certified knowledge of the very technology that's tearing those old systems down. He's a certified blockchain expert. Having that fluency in both the old rules and the new rules of finance, that's what's so critical. It's what allows you to build a bridge between those two worlds. All right, so you've got the right founder and a killer idea. Now what? What's the first step? Well, especially in a world as complex as finance, you definitely don't try to build the entire bank overnight. No, you start with a proven blueprint. And that blueprint starts with something called the minimum viable product, or MVP. It's a philosophy made famous by Eric Ries, and the idea is actually really simple. Don't waste time and money building the entire perfect product. Instead, build just enough of it to test your most important assumption. The goal is to learn as much as you can, as fast as you can, and as cheaply as you can. The process for this is really methodical. First, you find a real nagging problem that customers have. Then, you look at your competition and figure out how you can do it better. After that, you build only the most basic core features and test it with a small group of people. And finally, you launch it to your first users, your early adopters, and you start that all-important feedback loop where you're constantly learning and improving. And this isn't just some textbook theory. This is literally how giants are built. Think about it. Amazon started as a simple website selling only books. Uber, it began as a basic text message service in just one city. They all started with a super focused MVP before they ever dreamed of becoming the massive platforms we know today. Okay, so building a great product is one piece of the puzzle, but launching it at just the right time, that can be everything. So that begs the question, why is a company like Sigma set up for success right now? Well, if you look at research from Savills, they point to the two biggest forces that are going to shape global real estate for the next few years, the economy and technology. A platform like Sigma, which is at its core a finance and a tech company, is sitting right at the intersection of those two huge, powerful trends. And the other absolutely critical piece of this timing puzzle is regulation. You see, for years, all the uncertainty around this tech kept the big money, the major institutions, on the sidelines. But that's changing, and it's changing fast. The whole perspective is shifting. Regulation is no longer seen as a barrier, but as an enabler. It's creating the solid ground needed for serious, big-time investment to finally start flowing in.
Okay, so let's pull all these threads together. What's the big takeaway from this case study on how to build a modern fintech?
Building a company like this isn't about one magic formula. It's about a convergence of really critical factors. You need a clear vision that solves a real-world problem. You need the right kind of architect, someone with that rare mix of legal, business, and tech skills. You need a smart blueprint, like the MVP method, to build and learn. And maybe most importantly, you need a market that's ripe for change, where technology and regulation are finally pointing in the same direction. When all of those pieces click into place, that's when a massive opportunity is born. And really, the tokenization of real estate is just the beginning. It's just one of the first examples of a much, much bigger trend. You can apply this exact same model to fine art, to classic cars, to shares in private companies, really to any valuable asset that's always been locked up and hard to trade. And that leaves us with a really fascinating question to think about. In a world where pretty much anything can be digitized and traded, what's next? What's the next huge physical asset that's about to be completely reimagined?